Rex and a pastor were best friends. They grew up together in the hood, and pastor, went on to be a pastor. And Rex kind of ended up, in the street game. And I always think that, like a character like Rex is always fighting to get back to what's right, But he's definitely a tough guy, a street cat. And it's fun to play because, after playing Pinky and a lot of people think I play a lot of bad guys.
We love it when you play the bad role.
Yeah, but the thing is, I play probably more good guys. I mean, people forget I played Dr. King and Selma Lord Selma. I thought the character in Ray was a good guy. The brothers.
Very much so.
I've done television shows when I'm a father, cops. Most of the characters that I play are not as tough as Cuddy. But when you do a character like Cuddy, it kind of just stays with you, you know what I mean? So, I'm an actor, man. I just try to create characters, and I was reading somewhere, somebody said that Clifton Powell and a couple other guys are like the most famous bad guys, and, but it's hard for me to play bad guys because I've never been in trouble, I've never been arrested, I don't fight, it's just all part of my training to be able to morph into next Friday and do Pinky, and then come out and do Ray, do Cuddy, but then go. Now it doesn't matter what happens now. We've got some difficult days ahead. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life, which is Dr. King.
Right.
It's all part of my training, voice placement. Yo, baby girl, what's going on with you?
But you don't have any control over that. Just like Wesley Snipes still is identified with New Jack City.
But I have control over how I morph from character to character.
True.
Like in Pinky, the jumping around, that's all improv work. Somebody asked me about Pinky the other day, and what I thought made him funny, what made Pinky funny was the jumping around, but what really made him funny was after he did all that tough guy stuff, he started crying. So as an actor, I made a choice to really cry, and it's all just the same basis of training and character work, voice placement, diction and just your voice, and I do animation, did the voice of Big Smoke, Black Dynamite, playing a father,
right.
It's all training. So I think people get too caught up in, the types of roles you play, unless you're doing something extremely degrading, I love playing the tough guys because it's not really part of my character, so it's just fun,
Exactly.
This guy Rex is really, really fun guy to play,
Talk to us a little bit about training. There's a lot of actors and actresses trying to establish themselves.
Well, I think the most important thing is training. I started, I started in D.C. in a program called Workshop for Careers in the Arts, and went on to become Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And I want to be a football player. I think it's all God's work that I got into acting. And I was, initially probably one of the worst actors in the program. And I just didn't understand the concept of it. I didn't have a passion for it. But, I think I had a teacher, God rest his soul, all my teachers, Mike Malone, Kenneth Doherty, Glenda Dickinson, Debbie Allen was my dance teacher. But Charles Brown is a guy that saw something in me. And, I come from the inner city of D.C., and I never put on leotards and tights. I never took a dance class. That was foreign to me, because I wanted to be a football player. And I saw a play in high school and just went to the guy who was doing the play the next year and just said, hey, I want to do a play, and he put me in. And once I got into it, I was kind of rough around the edges, and they were going to put me out of the program. And Charles Brown, who was my acting, coach, my teacher at the time, he just said, hey, we got to keep this guy in here. And I stayed in, and then Glenda Dickinson came in, and teachers kept working with me and, giving me the time, and I just picked up the training. And then I went to, school in Boston. I went to Emerson College, and I did a lot of improv work. I'm a puppeteer, like a hand puppet. We have the hand puppets here. I did that for a long time. I did a lot of improv work. And then I did, once I left Boston, I did 10 years on the stage in New York, just grinding, did it because we loved it. I did, my first play, I made, $80 a week, did a play called Zoo Man and the Sign.
In New York?
In New York. And just, all of us were there. Sam, Denzel, Angela Bassett, Bing Rames, Charles Dutton, everybody was there. And we grinded, we learned the craft. So I tell all young people to really, really, really get the fundamentals of acting, and get the craft, learn your craft. And that's all it is. We all trained in the Stanislavski system, which is what we call method actors, where you build a character from inside out. That's why you see, you take a character as simple as Pinky. It's all the same training. You take a character like Pinky, it's the same through line as Dr. King. It's just the truth. You take a character like Cuddy. Cuddy was a strong character, but all Cuddy did was just stay within his truth and, build that character. So training is of paramount importance as opposed to, coming into LA and taking improv work and auditioning technique and not knowing the fundamentals. So you might book a couple of shows, but when that heat wears off your name, you got to really be able to go into that room and book a show.
Tell us about Rex. Tell us about this character.
I think Rex is a sociopath. He's diabolical. He's tough and he's not to be played with. He's a loan shark, and he's also got his hands in, doing a lot of other diabolical stuff. Running guns and the pastor, and Rex are friends, so the pastor had to come to Rex to borrow some money, and if you watch the show, which I want to say this show that you guys are you ladies and gentlemen in the audience are going to see on Bounce, make no mistake about it, it's groundbreaking. It's the first time I've ever been able to play this type of a character on television. The only character I've ever seen with this kind of strength is the Man from Hall, and so, NBC, ABC, CBS, they never let me do this, play this type of a character. I'm an actor, so when you see one of the scenes that I have to take a hammer and break this guy's hands and the blood is on my face, it's all acting, but being able to color this character and find different levels of this character, I've never really been able to do except on this television show, and I'm honored to be a part of it, and we cover the whole gamut, and Rex is in the middle of all of it, and he's the neighborhood tough guy. That's what he is, and we'll see him, hopefully, make an arc, but if you watch The Godfather, we're opening Rex up not to be a typical one-dimensional tough guy, like we see Al Pacino was sitting in church at Mass when he murdered like 20 people in The Godfather. We're going to see Rex,
that's
go
my
to
favorite
church
scene.
on Sunday and go to maybe PTA meeting with his kid or something like that. But, that's what we're trying to do, create a real life for this guy. So it's fun.